Good evening, everyone. JEAN-CLAUDE Beyond Mystic, and welcome to this Beyond the News episode with the lovely Janine. You can find her work at tarotbyjanine.com and also here on the Academy. Janine, welcome back. How are you?
Hi, Jean-Claude. I'm doing okay.
It's been a while.
Yeah, a few hours. Yeah,
You and I have been pretty busy today. Of course, you had
yeah.
your quick draw Thursday earlier today, and you and I did the IAP
Hmm.
viewer question earlier today.
Yep.
Quite a few comments today, Janine, from the audience members. I think you were rebel rousing. Is that the right term? So, crypto farmer says, "Quick Draw Thursday was a great today. Highly recommend checking that one out." And yeah, Alexa Laura says Janine was on fire. And then again, yes, we were on fire again. Also on the viewer question here for today.
Right on.
Uh, Janine, what were we talking about on this Quick Draw Thursday that got everybody so riled up here?
Well, the whole AI kind of taking over a lot of jobs, and what is that going to look like? How soon could that happen? And how can we approach it that we're still, like we're going to be in all new territory. We're not in Kansas anymore. We're going to be in cutting brand new trail for humanity. So I feel like we really need to be prepared. So I was just sort of starting the conversation.
Hmm. It's a tough conversation to have, honestly. I've been, you and I have been going through quite a few videos in the last couple of weeks trying to get our heads around what's happening, what they're telling us versus what they're not telling us, and trying to find some foothold to try to navigate all this and then
Hmm.
to also explain that to the audience members. I think at the end of the day, where you are and I are at now is that we've come to the conclusion that a lot of these other topics that we're chasing, although they're all important in their own right, they don't seem to compare in importance to what perhaps the magnitude of change that AI is bringing to humanity. And I say bringing, not going to bring in a long distant future. We're at the doorstep of some major, major changes in the way our social order is going to continue here moving forward with the advent of this super intelligence that in some cases could supplant a lot of our mechanisms and a lot of our governance systems that we feel we need to protect right now. So it's a big, 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 big conversation. So first of all, thank you everyone for joining us here today. Janine and I are tackling some of these issues, and of course, we'll take your comments and your questions as we go along here tonight. We're going to touch some of these subject matters again here tonight too in the show. Again, just encourage this conversation. And I think one of the big takeaways you had in the crypto view today, or sorry, in the viewer question today, um, was that we really needed to focus on this, that we needed to pay attention, and we needed to find a way to reinvent ourselves. Speak to that a little bit here before we go too far into the slide deck for the evening, Jenny.
Yeah, like I think a lot of people had to reinvent themselves. Maybe COVID lockdown and the pandemic and all the lockdowns and a lot of people getting kicked out of their jobs for not taking the jabs might have been a trial run or maybe a dry run for this. Okay, because they had to reinvent themselves, find a way to use your talents and abilities that possibly maybe you came here to do instead of like jobs that can be taken out from under you that large corporations are offering. Maybe it's time to stop working for the man or the system and stop being that cog in the wheel, even though it's been for some people just what they liked. And what, like, I'm not trying to undervalue that in any way. I'm just trying to say maybe it's time to create ourselves in a different way and use our abilities in a different way. And it's we're going to have to navigate that with all of this potential job loss that seems to be inevitable, and it's right around the corner.
Right. One of uh, the benchmark or the line in the sand that we've been getting it here in the last couple of weeks doing this research is that it's very feasible that the cognitive human workforce in the next 2 years or so, I think is the timeline, we could suffer 90% unemployment rate. That's how quickly these AI systems, teaching other AI systems and getting better, could eliminate a good majority of portions of the jobs that have to do with cognitive ability. We're not yet at replacing physical jobs, but again, going through some of those research papers from the last couple of weeks, we could be 5 years away from that. Just given, for example, that 10%, I think, of the workforce is involved in one way or another in driving, whether they're driving buses, cars, taxis, food deliveries, all these things. And we already have self-driving cars. So imagine now with the advent and the explosion of these technologies, how quickly people could be out of jobs. So we're trying to have this conversation not as a doom and gloom, but as a warning bell here that this right now is, for the most part, not on anybody's radar. And at least we're not seeing that much discussion about it. We're seeing our regular governance system tackle the regular rhetoric and problems and, the Epsteins of the world and the Ukraines of the world, the Irans of the world, but we're not really telling the populace at large that this change is so massive and what it really means to them. I haven't really seen any politician come out and say that. Here in Canada, we have a new AI minister by the name of Elvin Solomon, and he was interviewed a couple of months ago, I think it was on CBC, and he was asked about the jobs thing. And his only answer is, oh, no, government's going to save all this money. And then, but what about the jobs, sir, minister? Well, we're going to be even more effective as a government. And so they didn't really have an answer to what's happening on the job front. And I think that if we don't ask and we don't press forward with those questions and we don't bring this conversation forward, there's a chance that we're not going to be part of the solution and or at least not even involved in or aware of perhaps those big changes in what we need to do to protect ourselves, protect our families, reinvent ourselves, as we're saying. So I think the onus is on us here, not just JC, Janine, and our community, but everybody in the world to say, hey, hold on, hold on a cotton picking minute. You guys are rushing towards this artificial general intelligence, and you're just competing to be the first down the gate, but you haven't really told us what that means, what the downfalls might be, what the repercussions might be. There's no guide rails or anything, and nobody seems to be talking about it. So that's where I want to start the show here tonight, Ginny. Let's do a card pull on advice from Universe to bring this conversation to the forefront. There was one video in particular the other day that you and I were commenting on, where the gentleman was saying, this could be perhaps the last time humanity actually has a vote in something, in the sense that if AI removes all those cognitive jobs in the next 2 years, why does government need our votes anyways, right? They might just take the trillions of dollars from these AI companies through lobbying firms, and suddenly our vote doesn't matter. That's how quickly that could happen. And so I want to ask the universe here, how do we get this on the table? How do we get this on the top of the table and maybe in front of all these other issues right now so that the conversation can move forward and we can be part of it?
Well, it's good we're starting now. So the Page of Pentacles, so the conversation's out there and we're starting, and I've heard other people talk about it, just getting it started. That's a good thing. This card is a fear, fearing a lot of things and a lot of them may not happen. So of course there's a lot of, this might happen, that might happen. And some of those things, or even a lot of those things, may not happen. So that's a good thing. Okay, that could be a good thing. We've got the Hanged Man. It's like it's been, a lot of people knew about it, but it's almost like they didn't want to talk about it. It's been held up. The talking about it's been held up, and I feel like that way maybe they were going to spring it on us. Maybe it was part of the 2030 plan. Before you know it, nobody's got a job anymore. That's how they could put us in those little boxes in cities, take away our land, take away our driving ability, take away all our rights. They're already trying to do that everywhere, and get us all in these little condos that are just stacked up on each other like beehives. And I feel like that was part of the plan. And then the elites would have X amount of their own personal AI slaves, and we'd be given maybe a universal income to keep us barely fed. But first they were going to kill us all with the jab, a whole bunch of us. So then the other percentage would all be living in these little condos. I feel like that was the plan. Okay, a demonic plan, I think. And so the fact that we've even started talking about it, that's a victory for humanity. I don't think we're too late. I think we can get right away onto this, and conversation could happen really quickly. I feel like a lot of people are going to get onto this. This is even the general population, 2 6s. This is really good. Lots of flowing conversation. And I think even normies, this could be something they could get interested in. Okay. Because a lot of them are going to be the ones, not just our community, but them. A lot of them are the ones going to be losing their job. They're working for the government. They're working in hospitals, hotels, or working in, all kinds of community kind of jobs. All of those are the ones in jeopardy as far as I'm concerned. Ubers, taxis, like all of those kind of jobs. And I feel like a lot of normie population are doing jobs like that. All of our population's doing jobs like that. And so this is something that they can get their head around. It's really hard for them to get their head around baby eaters. It's been proven to be very hard to get them to even think about human trafficking, adrenochrome, all of that stuff. But this is something they could work with. You know what I mean? So I feel like it'll spread fast, and even normies will be spreading the conversation and trying to get in on it. We've got the 3 of Wands here, and the Hermit. Now, this is interesting. So this is advice here to us, this audience. Okay, stay open to universal plan. Okay, we can't forget that the universe knew about this somehow. Like, if the spirit world also has a play here. It's not just all of our fears. And I get it is fearful, and it's a lot of scary stuff, right? And we got to hash through it. But this card here says, stay in your higher self as much as possible here, and let your soul essence speak to you about how you need to move, because there's going to be a place for you, especially if you love yourself and you're in touch with your higher self. Being in touch with your higher self looks like you're really your best option to navigating this. It's like your soul will show you what steps to take so you don't get caught up, not having a way to survive.
So you don't get smackrolled.
Yeah.
Been waiting to use that poster again. Hey, Cliff, hi, if you're listening. Somebody in the show earlier said, hey, I'd love to wear a t-shirt with this picture on it saying smackrolled. Can we do a t-shirt with that, Cliff? This is your idea. Let me know. I think it would be cool. That one with the absurd t-shirt, I think, would match and would make a nice pair.
I just got my absurd t-shirts, by the way. I should have wore it tonight.
From Carla, yes.
Yeah, I just picked them up at the, I got a box number, so yeah.
Okay, well, the next show you have to wear your absurd t-shirt.
Okay.
Going back to this here, I want to ask you how much time we have left, humans, to really, I don't want to say stop AI, but really be part of this conversation and matter on it. Do you want to do a supplemental here or a whole other deck?
Let's do a whole other one. We got a lot of good cards there that we might need.
I'm feeling, anyways, from what I'm watching and when I'm reading, a sense of urgency, in the sense that this kind of crept up on us. And I mean, we have to be fair with ourselves. Just look at a year or two ago, we were laughing at some of the answers of AI and Grok and stuff, and it was kind of clunky. Now it's getting better and better by the day. And as they're showing, every iteration that's coming up is a 10x in terms of speed and capability from the last one. That's an exponential curve. So very soon here, we're going to be even more surprised with AI, to the point where we might get to this singularity moment that, the Kurzweils of the world, you and I were looking at this back in the 80s and 90s, and they were saying, oh, that's like 2050, it's far away. And what we're seeing now is, oh my God, we're right on that doorstep. It's not 2050 anymore. We're so close to it. So how much time do we have left to really get our attention as humans on this and be part of the solution, be part of the guardrails, be part of the mechanism that forces these companies that are involved in AI to actually do good for humanity, for that to be part of their core mission, as opposed to perhaps what it is now? I feel like time's of the essence here. What does the universe want to say?
Well, major arcana is all over the place here. 1, 2, 3, 3, but they're big ones, and an ace. Okay, so we're right here now, the Fool. This is interesting because it's assuming that we have an independent financial world already developed somehow. So like this must already be in the works somewhere.
Right.
We could be like away from those gangster bankers sooner than we think here. This is good. Okay, now we've got the Fool. So we just bumped into, oh my goodness, now this is developing and we just noticed it. It's like the big elephant in the room or something, and we just noticed it, right? So we got the Fool, so we're all like, oh my goodness, right? Like takes us in a totally different direction. This is interesting because it's got the Wheel of Fortune here close by and a 10. So some event is going to come along and take us away from some of the fears that attach to this, and things get a lot better because of this unexpected way that the world goes. So there's an event or something coming that feels to end some of the things. It might even end, I don't know, like it might take out of the hands of the bad guys the technology, or maybe it already has been and we'll figure it out. Maybe this is an extraterrestrial sort of intervention or some kind of a huge event anyway. It's a worldwide event that changes everything in the direction of everything. And then we somehow come out of it moving in a direction much healthier for mankind. So we will be using technology, but I don't get we're taken over by it. And it feels like within the year, all of this has happened. It gives us a little time to grow with it, basically. It's going to give us time to be part of the sorting it out. We're going to get to the table because of this event.
Okay, so everybody in the live chat is saying, what's the event? War, grid down, financial kind of upheaval, ETs. I think you need a whole other deck on the event.
Yeah.
If you want, because you have a lot of cards there.
That's a like it'll be difficult at first. So let's have a look.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's
hold on, don't go too fast. Oh, shoot. I was asking about timing. Like, how much time do we have? Is this
about a year?
2 weeks? Oh, so it's a whole year. So 26 to 27. Okay.
Everything I just described here has already come to pass within a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're in that. As Cliff is saying, we're in the transition to sci-fi world now. 26, 27. We're in it. Yeah. And that's also what all these AI guys are saying. That singularity moment where AI is smarter than humans is this year or next year at the latest. We're already there.
So the event.
Yeah. What's the event look like? These guys said, JC, your quote from this afternoon was profound. AI can probably turn you off before you can turn them off. Yeah. Okay. I'll thank you, Peace Guy, for reminding me. I'll try to form that into a question later for the show. That's a good one. So you said that there's an event that turns everything over here, changes everything. Everybody in the chat was saying grid down, EBS, financial. Okay.
And another way you could read, but this looks financial, but this could be physical earth changes as well. And it somehow connects to or involves the war we're in. So the spiritual war. So it somehow involves White Hat Alliance and the kind of war we're already in, right? Hidden, unseen, or like the war that nobody can literally put a finger on.
Yeah.
So I would say that's the spiritual information war.
Okay.
Okay, and then the Wheel of Fortune. So it turns everything or moves everything in a different direction. A lot of things change. That's an ending card. So it's going to end the illusions about our world. Okay, so somehow it brings about the end of your illusion, even the normie's illusion about what the world is, what our history is. It'll make us have to face the truth about the world. Yeah. And it involves for sure finances, but then I think some physical changes in the world as well. Physically, literally, like, so we're talking maybe big world plates moving, volcanoes. I don't know. Like it looks like it changes physically the world, and also financially and information wise. Everybody's got their hands on, like, you can't be deluded anymore about what your world is, which could also change who's in charge of AI, if that all happens, and how it goes.
Let me ask you a few questions.
Yeah.
And maybe leave the card deck there for, oh my God. Now you're rocking my brains on this one. If it is the financial stuff, you and I just recorded the WUFI, the forecast for March, last weekend. And in there was a clip from Donald Trump and Hegseth being asked why they were deploying these reaction force teams, quick reaction force teams for civil unrest in 50 states by April of 2026. Let me see if I can bring that up for the audience. This one here. We don't need to play the clip. Reporter saying that. Pete Hegseth says, well, I can't comment on that, but yes, absolutely, we're ready for a whole bunch of stuff. Basically, that's what the clip says here. But Catherine Austin-Fitts reported, by the way, April 15 is when federal taxes are due. She seems to be putting the civil unrest having something to do with, presumably here by her text, some type of tax revolt, some type of situation where people say, yeah, we're not playing this game anymore. Something's just changed, and they just wake up from whatever it is, and suddenly en masse, there's an issue, and they see this coming, Trump and the white hats. Could that be tying in here to that financial event that you're tying in here? Does that have to do with taxes and the way we deal with government, or what do you see? Is there a connection there?
I would say so, but let me just tell a quick story.
Go
I
ahead.
was at a coffee shop today. I went quick between all the videos I've been doing out to this little Tallel coffee shop.
Yeah.
And me and the owner got in a conversation. He's in Albertan. He moved to the Haida Gwaii after he refused to take the jab, and the company he was working for, he was a truck driver, fired him. Anyway, so he moved his family to Haida Gwaii, and they bought a little cafe, and the super cool guy. We get along great. Anyway, we had this big loud conversation right in the cafe where he was talking about taxes and how he doesn't think too many people are going to comply to taxes paying this year. And
Did he say why? Did he say?
He said because it was like he said, how could we comply and how can we agree with? He said our own prime minister is in the Epstein files, and he said this really loud. The whole cafe heard. And he said, "Our like look at what we're agreeing to. Like if we pay them taxes, look what they're spending the money on. They're giving it away to wars that we didn't agree to. Like we didn't agree to this. We're not agreeing to this." So he says a lot of people probably won't comply. And he goes, "Yeah, I think if everybody just got on board," like he was literally like.
Wow.
I was
okay,
like,
well, let me put this into focus.
Everybody agreed in the whole place.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They were like, oh my God. Like I was thinking the same thing. Like it's absurd. We don't want to pay for all these woke agendas. Like everybody chimed in.
So let me tie that back into the AI. I think that's very interesting. So on one hand, it appears we have a subset of the population who are saying or waking up to, hey, why are we paying taxes to pedophiles? Or why is our money going outside of the country and still we don't have doctors in Quebec? All these things. We're hearing that. But what I'm seeing in the AI, and see if you can bring your card deck back up here. We're getting more and more of these deep fake videos coming out from AI. And we're seeing all these like Tom Cruise with so-and-so, like all AI, and like they look cool. Like you can almost not tell they're AI anymore. Like we're months away from that being able to tell anything apart. And maybe it's already here. It's just not yet being deployed. And what these analysts were saying that we're getting to that event in humanity to where all of a sudden, all of humanity at the same time can no longer verify what's true and what's not true. So over the last 5 years, we've all been burnt. Do this, do that, the war over here, jab over there, blah, blah, blah. And we all kind of like, we don't know if something's wrong, but we couldn't, we still had a little bit of mechanisms to find the truth and all of that. What they're saying is with AI now and the proliferation of content, we won't be able to discern truth anymore. And that's when humanity all of a sudden stops and says, yeah, until I can verify anything, I'm not playing this game anymore. So it comes from the frustration, as you just said in the coffee shop, but it also apparently is coming from this realization through AI and all this content that we don't know anything. Everybody's lying to us. We can't verify. And until we verify, humans, they go to their default answer. Typically, that's no. It's a lot easier for a human to say no when they're not sure about something than to say yes, right? So that means there's a big halt at the same time. Can you do a poll on that, Janine? Let's do a reshuffle. look at AI, this inability for humans to verify anything and what it does to our social order, playing the game, being the nice citizens, giving the benefit of the doubt to our controllers and to our governance systems. How quickly does that change when we realize, oh my God, we can't verify
Yeah.
anything? Isn't that wild?
Yeah. We're so close to that. I already feel that most days.
Well, listen, you and I have been doing this show, what, 6 years? And it's getting harder and harder every show we do to verify the stuff that's on our slide deck before we go live. Whereas before, I could verify a couple of things within 5 minutes. Now I have to look and look again and look again, and people might report stuff live in the chat. And like, I'm not bringing it up until I can verify it. I don't want to feed into this fake world. So it's getting harder and harder.
Yep.
So imagine with all this AI stuff coming up, it's just going to be crazy. So the question is, how does this AI content bring humanity to a halt point where they realize they can verify, and because they can verify, they no longer want to play the game?
We're there. We're like, I'd say by the water sign month. So right now we're in what are we? We still Pisces, just barely, and then we're moving into Aries, fire, and then Taurus. So the next water sign month, it'll already have happened. So that's what, end of June and most of July till the 21st of July.
So we're there.
Yeah. So see that? Stop. And this one, hold on. Everyone's going to hold on to their money because they couldn't even verify if who's trying to collect it is right. Like, it's all like, who are you giving it to? Like you said, pedophiles? Are we giving it to the deep state? Everyone will know about that by now. Like we're close to that already. Like, who are we going to be handing over our hard-earned money to? No, thanks. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is absurd, right?
Well, don't forget, we were told, what, 6 months ago? What are we? No, more than that now. Almost a year ago, that Elon Musk and his team at Doge had found all these 6 or 7 computers that were printing money out of thin air at the Fed that weren't accounted for. Where'd that go? So again, if you can't verify that your money is true money and that it's not being printed to oblivion, and there's no over-the-counter derivatives and all that, you might say, yeah, I'm not playing this game anymore.
Yeah.
Wow.
And people will start trading is what I think.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Trading, because then so you can trade work for work, right? See, when I was first in the Haida Gwaii, we traded everything. I didn't have actual money. So we just traded stuff. Like I was really good at making really good deer stew. So I'd make deer stew. I made a great halibut soup. So you could trade, I'd trade you that. I'd trade a card reading. I'd trade your chart done. And you could chop my wood, and if I liked you enough, you could like babysit my daughter if you were a nice person and you know, not a like a safe person. And like somebody used to trade me for my classes I did. They trade me a bread. So twice a week they brought me a loaf of homemade bread, and they took my classes that I was teaching all winter, and I was happy to trade them with that trade.
Absolutely. Wow. Okay. Let's bring it back again on the finance stuff, because you said that's the event. If you want to shuffle, I want to bring this concept back.
Okay.
So over the last couple of years, it appeared, at least there was enough evidence to suggest that at least part of the COVID agenda was to perhaps reduce the population, because a lot of these governments had absconded with pension funds. Catherine Fitz, for example, has made that argument many times, other researchers. But now, when you put it in context, is it just because the governments had absconded with the funds or mismanaged the funds or hyperinflated the funds? Or is it because they also know that AI is coming? They understand the curve. They understand that it could be an event to where nobody's going to have jobs anymore. And in order to keep control of the population, they might have wanted to get rid of a few people who won't be able to make this transition. So could we make that same argument that Catherine Austin Fitz was making about COVID and the necessity to get rid of those people who were looking for healthcare and social services at a later age when the system was already cracking under pressure? Could that also be now a solution to AI coming and eating a lot of the jobs? Was somebody thinking about that here too behind COVID?
I'd say yes, with that major arcana first off. and it's not the moon. So the moon is a no, but this one's a yes. And most of them are yes if they come major arcana first off. And that's a 10. So that's the end of the illusion. And 5. In other words, I feel like that agenda is no longer happening, but that's what they wanted to happen. And the war was fought so it wouldn't go ahead. So yes, that was the plan, but the war was fought so they didn't get away with it. It got switched. That makes sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, so part of it, and again, the COVID stuff was mitigated in a lot of different facets of that initiative. Again, you've documented this for years with the cards. Now, let's look at it another way. I need you to shuffle another way. If it's about the money as well, and we're seeing, getting a little bit of feedback. Can you bring your speaker volume down on your laptop just a little bit? Hopefully that works. Can you still hear me okay?
How's that? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, so going back to the finance of it, if these governments around the world right now are giving carte blanche and rolling out the red carpet for these AI companies because they all want to be the first, they don't want the enemies to be the first to capture the super intelligent AI software. Are they giving these AI companies some type of liability shield, and that's why these AI companies have no care in the world of what's happening to humanity and what the ramifications there might be, similar to what we were told happened during COVID, to where all of these COVID manufacturers had liability shields, and this is what we're fighting now after the fact? Could it be that that system is already in place now to save these AI companies from any recourse in the future for any negative repercussions from these softwares running amok?
I think there's at least discussions about it, but I don't think they've signed and sealed and delivered it. So it's not a solid yes. And again, I get some kind of and I feel like a lot of entities know about this event that's coming, that they already know it's going to change this. Like, I feel like, so we're on this route and it looks really bad and it looks like a certain way, but I feel like something derails it. And it doesn't make it not happen, but it'll happen differently because of the derailing.
Mm-hmm.
And it changes maybe who's in charge, something like that. Right. So there's things going on that we don't know about.
But put it into perspective a little bit. You also said that, or the cards also said that about COVID, that it was going to be derailed.
Yep.
Sure, it got derailed from where it ultimately wanted to go, but it didn't change the fact that we lived 5 years of hell, to where you and I weren't allowed to go to a restaurant, we couldn't go to a gym, to a supermarket, that we were being deleted online, our revenue sources got disappeared. So that still is difficult to go through, even though somehow there's an event that derails. Okay, so you're seeing the parallel with this fight as well.
Yep.
Okay. My next question.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be some pain around this event. And we've been talking about that for a while. So, I mean, I feel ready, and we're seasoned warriors.
Yeah.
It'll be worth it if it changes, because right now things look really bleak. Let's just say that. Like, if Canada's really got the government, it looks like they have, we're in some deep shit. And most countries in the world would say the same thing. It is not pretty.
Yeah. Okay. Let me, again, on this whole, we promised the audience we would do more of this AI stuff and try to explore that and bring that into context for you guys. The Matrix movie, at the beginning, in the first movie, they explained that humanity took a turn somewhere not long after they had created AI. They don't give a specific date. They say it's the 21st century, right? So it's in the 2000s, but we don't know. The movie came out in the 90s, and then the Matrix that we see where Neo lives, he's out in 2199. But the actual war with the machines came about us, or shortly after us, creating true AI. Okay, that's what it says in the movie. So when you're saying that fighting and that difficulty card, do we go through a certain period like that where AI, parts of AIs get together somehow and has a struggle as to taking its place over humanity, might be seeing humanity as a parasite of sorts and wants to get rid of us, and that's the fight we have to have? Or are we having to fight beforehand with the AI companies and our governance systems? Or is it maybe a little bit of both here before we get to the other side of this?
Okay.
Was the Matrix pre-programming us here for what's about to come is my
Okay.
question.
Let's ask that. We'll start there.
Okay.
So was the Matrix pre-programming? So we're looking for kind of a yes, no, or maybe it was a combo.
Predictive programming of the situation we're about to face here. They had been right on quite a few things before. This is a different angle. You and I haven't looked at this before.
Well, we got some Trump and White Hat Alliance-y kind of cards. So walked away from. So I feel like that's, I'm going to say yes, but they walked away from that. So they were pre-programming us, but it's not going to happen because of this energy here. And this energy here, White Hat Alliance, looks like they're also somehow know about this event happening, or maybe even helped bring about the event. I don't know.
So in the context of the movie, just to give you more context,
the
humans end up being batteries for this AI that took over the world, right? We're all in pods and it's feeding off of our energy, and the AI is creating this simulation for us.
I think that was the plan.
Okay, so that was the plan. So it was pre-programming, but we're not going directly there. So, but my question was then, let's do another poll. If you want to shuffle. In your previous card, you said there was some fighting and there's some difficulty there, right?
Yeah.
At some point. What does that difficulty look like? Is it us?
Are we going to fight with AI, or are we going to? Yeah.
Right. So does the fight happen before? Because in the Matrix, it's kind of like there's no really fight. It's like it kind of took over everybody by surprise, and then suddenly they're all slaves to it. Do we have a chance here at having the fight earlier on to change that course?
Okay, I think we've already changed the course of that. And I think that's not, I think that's part of what the war's been about. I think that fight is being fought and or already being won. Like already they're fighting with somehow a version of that.
Oh, could the fight have to do with some non-terrestrial AI competing with the AI that's growing here on the planet from humans? I need you to do hold or pull on this, because the last time I talked to you at Penny Kelly, I asked her, okay, we have a couple of different AIs that are competing right now. All these big firms are putting trillions of dollars into it. And I asked her, I said, is there something to the rumors of a lot of the ET experiencers, those who have been put under QHHT, that there's another AI, perhaps 2 or 3 other AIs that are operating here, having influence on the planet, that are non-terrestrial, that basically came from outside of our realm and who are involved in human affairs right now? She said yes, in terms of what her contacts have told her. So is that the fight that's happening now in the war that we don't know nothing about? Again, every time you pull on Iran, it's not what we're being told. It's not about nuclear weapons. Are we fighting some type of AI proxy war here? There.
Yep. You bet.
Wow.
And they've been involved with the governments in the past. So that they kind of infiltrated or already were dealing with the governments in the past. And it's, this is a hidden thing that's been going on. Yes.
Wow.
Yep. You bet. And they were the ones that had a lot of the demonic ideas about how getting rid of a lot of people. Like I feel like they're influencing the deep state and some of their plans, like maybe some of their demonic plans have been influenced by this bunch.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm going to need you to shuffle again. Please, Jenny, thank you for that. I'm going to bring up a slide deck from remote viewers. I have it from you today. They just remote viewed another COVID-like event. For some reason, I can't find it. Am I on my slide deck? Hold on. I missed it. So you and I asked this the other day. So basically, let me bring this into context for you guys. We're just hitting now this 6-year anniversary of COVID being officially declared as a global pandemic. And I asked you this, I think it was on the Monday show, maybe it was on the Wednesday show, whether or not we would be treated to a COVID 2.0 scenario. And you're like, yeah, kind of. It might not have the legs of this one, but there was something there to this particular effect. Now, the remote viewers also just put out, Dick Algar and Company at Future Forecasting Group, they just put out a remote viewing saying exactly the same thing. Oh, I have it here. Okay, hold on. It was this one here. They're saying remote viewers sound the alarm on another potential pandemic coming. Can we do a poll on that, Janine, for this audience? What does it look like? How much legs does it have? What's it really about? What's going on with this one? What can we expect?
Okay, that's interesting. Got the movie card there.
Yep.
Justice there. So something's been agreed upon. Something's been agreed upon to maybe play a scenario out, because this card agrees to something. This is a movie card, and then we got the justice card, which could be about secret tribunals or people already facing justice for something. And then this card in the past is waiting and watching. So they've been doing a lot of that and gauging everybody's reactions to things. I feel like that's been happening for years now. The White Hat Alliance has been doing it. And I know the bad guys were doing it for years and years and years before that. Okay, so gauging everybody's, and then the theater's playing itself out. There's secret tribunals going on. They've agreed to something. So they've agreed to this. This feels more like what they were getting, because I was asking, what were they getting in that remote viewing? And because you said what, describe, what were they were getting.
Yeah.
And it looks like they were getting maybe the EBS instead. So a lockdown and EBS where they out who the bad guys are, because that's a military card out on the street, tribunal card, theater card, Hierophant is like deep state, and this is like PSYOP. So I feel like they're actually going to let us in on what's been going on. That sounds like the EBS. Maybe the lockdown they're talking about is the days of darkness.
Right. So that's what I'm getting. Okay. So not necessarily a pandemic in terms of a virus, but an event that locks us down. Yep. And then that triggers all of this stuff. Okay. Timing on that? Months, weeks, days away? What does it look like?
Spring.
We're in spring.
That's soon. April. I consider April spring.
Well, yeah, that could be again why Trump is putting these rapid response teams in the 50 states for April.
Oh man, I'm hoping for that. Like.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to be careful what we wish for.
I know. Some things wouldn't be fun about a lockdown.
No, for sure. If it leads to the last mopping up of the swamp, okay, I'm all for it. I'll struggle through that. I'll stand strong. Okay, let me give you something else here that just popped up on the screen. Nino just interviewed this guy, Everett Triplet, and they're talking about this biblical prophecy involving an EMP attack here. Could that be in the cards that would trigger some type of lockdown here? An EMP attack could bring down the grid for some time. It would be a lot easier to handle the population in that case, to put them in lockdowns. Is that a mechanism towards this lockdown, Janine? Is that in the cards?
So does that mean grid down?
An EMP would involve a lot of electrical stuff not working, including the grid, yes, maybe even comms for a while. It could take a while to reboot all that stuff.
I'm not necessarily getting a yes on that.
Okay.
I get it more concerned with a financial kind of, some kind of redoing of the financial system to a more, this card is sovereign, and she has the ability to create her own abundance. Like, it's where we all want to go. We don't want government overreach.
Even a small EMP device, not necessarily nationwide, directed at New York or at the stock exchange, could bring about what you're saying now as an excuse to shut down everything, re-deliver the control systems to something else, and then reboot the financial system. But they could blame that. Listen, again, in the last 2 weeks, you and I have been doing shows. Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, we have sleeper cells everywhere. Trump talked about sleeper cells. Somebody else in the States were talking about sleeper cells in Iran, here in the country. And now we're seeing, Jamie Dimon, he was saying all the banks should be getting ready here for a cyber attack. We have sleeper cells. So we seem to be getting primed for something hitting the banking system. And in that case, an EMP could do exactly that, blamed on Iran. And then we have a reason to make this switch over, and perhaps a period of lockdown also, Janine. How do you see that tying in?
Well, these don't really say no, but they don't yell yes either.
Okay.
So that could be part of it.
Okay.
We got the chariot in the past that leads to it. So I was looking for an electrical kind of card here, or the tower. I didn't see it. The chariot is about fast moving, and then the spirit world takes a step. With the chariot, the universe has a go at something where it speeds things up. These two creatures, especially with the Wheel of Fortune underneath it, are guided by spirit. Spirit world guides them. So even though people's ego thinks they're in charge, the spirit world's in charge. So I feel like that's it. Some step is taken that the universe has a say in, and maybe it's more random than them. That might be part of it, but it feels more random. Okay, so that could be our physical things that happen in the world, like that could shut things down, like a big earthquake or a big flood or a big, like, remember we were seeing physical changes in the world as part of, so money, finances, and physical changes.
Yeah.
Like it feels like it could create electrical to go down, but it feels like it's coming from an event that might be both spiritually and sort of part of the war effort.
Okay. You and I talked about this yesterday in the pay-per-view. This is a new movie called War Machine. It's out on Netflix now. The movie is about this Army Ranger guy who's going on a trial mission, a training mission, and they go active because this meteor, a la 3-Eye Atlas, drops a whole bunch of drones and starts shooting people on the planet. And you pulled on this yesterday, and like, there's a there. There's not a no. And I asked you about timing, and you said spring. So could that be the event here you're looking at?
And some of this footage they were showing was very reminiscent of 3-Eye Atlas. Yeah. And people were asking about 3-Eye Atlas in the comments. Like, we haven't forgotten about it. I mean, it's probably still lurking around over there. And then it shot out all these things out of it. Yeah. Okay, that's part of the movie, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I watched that last night and I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. And I don't know, I got sort of a boy streak in me that just loves movies like that. And even though you said it was a bit of a B movie, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
What I was saying is the lead character is not the Oscar award, actor,
If you like the strong silent type, I guess he's.
I was going to say women like him for other reasons, Janine. It's not for his acting.
I really enjoyed it.
It's like all those men who say, they love the Playboy magazine because you really want to read those articles.
Yeah,
I say that jokingly because my mom really enjoys this actor. He's on this series on TV, and she's like, he's kind of cute, you know. I'm like, Mom, you like pow pow like action movies? She's like, no. He's kind of cute though. So I'm like, okay. So anyway, you guys in the live chat probably know what we're talking about. All right. Man, crazy times indeed, Janine. It's exciting. I'm cautiously optimistic with you. And I think I'll come back and ask you last words of wisdom there too, but for the audience. But these conversations are important, and perhaps more important than the tug and pull that we're seeing in social media right now, the divide, all that stuff, like the trannies, the gays, the blacks, like all these division stuff that's putting at us. We might want to just step back from that and say, whoa, there's a bigger picture here. Humanity is about to hit a change like it's never seen before. We're going to someplace we've never seen before. And some people say, oh, JC, people went through the Industrial Revolution. It's okay. The people just retrained. They did something like that. No. This is very different. We've invented tools before. Now we're inventing an intelligence that is going to create other stuff that is outside of our ability to think about what they're going to create. It's a whole new world moving forward, and we need to have these conversations. But first, I have some prizes to give away, and then we'll come back with Janine here at the end of the show, just as everybody shakes off being smack-rolled this evening with this AI. We're going to give away this beautiful trio of Fire Horse Trilogy. These are essential oil bombs that you can use to infuse parts of your day, morning, afternoon, and evening, to harmonize with the Fire Horse energy this year, to maximize that, to diminish some of the high energy as well when you need to sleep. Beautiful concoctions here used with herbs and crystals. This is a brand new creation by Aline. She's also going to be giving a free course on this on the Academy for you guys who want to perhaps use essential oils at home and start making your own potions moving forward. This particular kit also has an amazing soap. This is actually Janine's favorite soap as well, as a free gift. So check that out. Right now it's on sale. BM10 is the coupon code on floridanefarm.ca. You can see the link in the description box below. We're going to be giving one of these away, and also this one. Carla sending us a beautiful understanding pyramid for beginners. We need to understand the reality of this AI tonight. So thank you to you, Carla. Guys, please do go check it out. Also at ascensionorganites.com. I'll bring up our website here in just a moment. There's a lot of sales there as well. But Janine, let's start by giving away this one. Do you have a question for the audience members here? I do.
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
I said a percentage of labor force losing their jobs in the next 2 years. That's what other analysts are saying. I quoted that at the beginning of the show. What was that percentage of the unemployment rate on the cognitive workforce here in the next 2 years? What was that percentage I was talking about? So go to floridanefarm.ca. We bring up our website here too. Beautiful stuff there as well. Go check it out. The soaps, the salt baths, also a Janine favorite there too. Perfect gifts for your friends and families and loved ones. And for all of you also who have bought soaps in the past, go back to that site. She has a loyalty program here too, giving you extra savings. And also you can recommend the soaps to other people and also get commissions on that. So that's a really cool program that Aline has put forward here. So check it out there at floridanefarm.ca. BM10 is the coupon code there. Janine, let me go back to the Rumble feed and I'll try to pick a winner here. Yes, a lot of people have the right answer. Let me see. There you go. I'm just going to put this guy here. Okay. Janine, let me know when to stop the feed. We'll pick a winner.
Stop.
Always have faith. Oh, that's a cool one. Isn't that apropos?
Yeah, really good.
Have faith. 90. Yes, that was a percentage. Always have faith. I don't think I've named you before, so congratulations if you're a first-time winner. If you go to beyondmystic.net and go to the top of the page and hit the About section and fill in the tech support form, let us know that you're the winner, and we'll get Aline to send out this beautiful kit to you ASAP. And for those of you trying to check out this kit, go to floridanefarm.ca. Next up, this one here, beautiful pyramid from Carla. Janine, do you have a question?
That is beautiful. It's very royal looking.
Yeah, I love those colors, the purple.
I said that I got something in my box number, like at my mailbox, and it was a T-shirt. What is the word on the T-shirt?
What's the word?
Received a t-shirt.
Not Smackworld. It was something
Not
else.
Smackworld. Yeah.
If you guys were paying attention. While we wait for that to populate, go to ascensionorganites.com. The Violet Flame collection's on sale. Amazing new pyramids there. Quite a lot of amazing products, including the Shanghai pendants. There's still some silver available, those silver pendants. You might want to check that out there. Of course, Beyond Mystic in one word is a coupon code. You'll get 10% off everything on the site there. That's ascensionorganites.com. Janine, let me know when to stop the feed.
Stop.
Susie QW. Absurd. Close enough. That's good. Congratulations, Susie. Yes, please go to the top page of beyondmystic.net and fill out that form, and check out the schedule as well there. We have quite a few shows coming up tomorrow. Let's see if we can bring that up. Weekly meditation here with Elena. Don't forget, for those of you who want to take part in her live activation from the mountaintop and tropical Dominican Republic, you can do so here on the Academy page for the Summit activation. It's coming up next Sunday. The coupon code there is Summit10. I think there's 1 day or 2 days left of this code here to register before the event. Summit10 is a code there to save 10% for this live activation. Janine and I will be participating in this as well. So please come and join us, and come and join Elena there as well. If you haven't already checked out the membership with Waking Up with Shannon, also here on the Academy, quite the amazing journey so far in this group collective effort, keeping us to account and keeping us engaged in our own personal development here for consciousness healing. You have to check it out, guys. So again, Waking Up with Shannon is where you want to be. Check that out on johnmystic.academy. Janine, before we go, I wanted to get back again to this. Do you want to do an overall advice on this new world that's coming up in front of us? Let's just, maybe not AI, maybe not jobs related, but just it seems that we are shifting the tools that we've been using for the last 6 years to navigate this reality, navigate the fake COVID and the fake wars and all these things and the financial resets and all that. It seems that has served us well, but we're about to enter into maybe a new battle zone, a new place to where we might have to adjust our skills on how we evaluate and how we navigate our reality. Let's get advice on that.
Okay, and I'm going to use the Thoth, the Thoth deck,
yes.
Which, before you go freaking out because Aleister Crowley had something to do with it, Frida Harris painted each one of these paintings, and she's very much of the light. So what you have is a very dark entity and a very light entity, and it's the most balanced male, female, and dark and light deck ever. So if used in the hands of somebody who's aware and self-aware and has good intentions, very good deck to use, but tricky if you're not really self-aware. Okay, so just wanted to mention that. I learned on this deck, so it's pretty fun to use, and I like it for really big looks.
Okay, excited to see it. And by the way, guys, Janine is going to be teaching this deck also in the Academy. A lot of people are interested in learning. It's just another tool in your toolkit, and so that's coming up soon also here on the Academy. Just while Janine is pulling the cards here too, I forgot to mention when Ken Schwartz was on the show last week with this Beyond 25 coupon code, he's extended that. That's still valid, I think, until the end of the month, so March 31st. So if you guys are looking for a C60 gummies, if you need that deoxidation in your body, if you want to get rid of perhaps a brain fog and get back on track and boost your immune system in these crazy times, you want to sleep better, check it out. Big savings there, Beyond 25, so 25% off the C60 gummies. And you can go to shopc60.com. And again, the links are in the description box below. Janine.
Interesting. So look at how pretty they are. When you see these, her paintings are about as big as the screen here that you're viewing me on. Apparently she shows them or they are shown in New York, in the New York, the really big gallery there, the New York Gallery, and every 7 years. Now, I don't know if that's still happening, but for years they would show them every 7 years and have a big showing of these cards in the whole one whole gallery dedicated to her work. So pretty exciting. She's amazing. Frida Harris. Okay, so the past, we've got the High Priestess. I feel like that's speaking to this audience where a lot of us have done like we've quantum leaped spiritually. We've seen it with each other. We've together done it. We've learned and grown. We've shared, techniques like the Beyond Mystic Academies, full of really great courses. A lot of people have taken those courses. There's been a lot of sharing just in the community on, for instance, the tarotbyjanine.com and the Beyond Mystic community, where we've shared a lot of our like gifts that we have. Okay, we had a Shella showing us how to do the pendulum. We had the rods, all kinds of things. And so a lot of us have really sharpened up on our tools. And I feel like that's been really important. That's an important thing we need to be sort of pat ourselves on the back, because that probably prepared us for what's coming. Being intuitive and in touch, because don't forget, the one thing that AI doesn't have is a soul. Okay, so being in touch with your spiritual nature and utilizing that information. That's one area I really don't believe AI can utilize. So the Akashic records, for instance, and the soul experience of humanity, your past lives and spiritual experiences. I don't think they're going to be able to tap into that. I really don't. I trust that they won't. Okay, so that's something you'll always have. Okay, so we've got this spiritual card that's prepared us in this quantum leap spiritually. Then we've got the Empress card. Okay, so she's self-loving and takes really good care of herself. A lot of us have learned a lot over the last 4 or 5 years together in the community to look after ourselves better. Okay, like Jean-Claude and I have talked a lot about it. I've worked a lot harder than I've ever worked. I wasn't paying enough attention in the past. I'm paying more attention now. We've all talked about it, and it's tweaked a lot of us to start looking after ourselves. Also just spiritually and psychically too, and intuitively, like not just physically, but that too, right? So all the ways to look after ourselves. Both these things could really help prepare us moving into what's coming. Okay, not to undervalue yourself just because they're saying AI is going to outsmart us. Okay, well, I got to, and I'm going to say something might be a little controversial, but I've been outsmarted intellectually my whole life because that wasn't my big focus. And I wouldn't call myself any kind of an intellectual. I think I'm a wise woman. Don't get me wrong. I'm not undervaluing myself, but I'm no intellect. Okay. And like my memory's kind of bad, and AI's already got that all over me. It's like, are you kidding? Like when I try to write something, I'll be really blunt. Like I'm no kind of a writer. AI writes better than me already. All of that. You know what I mean? But I have this soul and spirit that it'll never have. Like I got this fire in me and this light. And AI doesn't have that. When I watch that AI guy, what is it? The Asian guy. Okay, we know he's an AI bot. Okay, so interesting, but there's no soul to them. The videos are dry and boring to watch. I got to be honest. Like it's good information, but it's like, you know what I mean?
A lot of them have been banned from YouTube in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, but energetically, you're not getting a hit off that guy. That's how I knew he was a bot from the get-go. But anyway, you get a hit off actual real humans who are even through the camera putting energy out. Look at when you watch Shannon working her magic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, the Akashic Alexandra. Am I saying her name right?
Yeah, Alexandra. Yeah.
Yeah, like and Elena with her bowls, her singing bowls. Like that energy can't be duplicated by bots. They're going to try, but they can't be duplicated. I don't believe it can be. Okay, so keeping that in mind, okay, going forward. Now here, emotional energy. So that's another thing. So bots could emulate your emotional energy, but they don't actually and they might even be able to tap you emotionally. Okay, with some information they bring or things they say or how they say it. But emotional energy going forward is going to be really powerful. So bringing that across, passion, intention, bringing that across in the work you do. So whatever you choose to do. So a painter. Okay, so bots could be taught to, and AI can be taught to. They make all this AI art, but I still have yet to not be able to. I'm sure one day maybe they'll be able to duplicate AI art, but they're still duplicating, you know what I mean, and taking from. And I believe that artists are going to be able to, musicians, when they put their soul into a piece of music, I don't think that'll be duplicated by AI. Like some people could argue with me, but I'm still here believing that humanity has it over them for those things, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so here we've got the Two of Pentacles. Keep in mind, so this is the hidden influence. Things will change as we go, and humanity will evolve and change to suit and work with what's coming. Okay, so you didn't come all the way down here to the earth plane this lifetime. Physically birthed, that's a lot of work, by the way. Of course, it's work for the mama too, but it's also work for the babe to come out and physically agree to be down here just to get totally obliterated by AI. I don't believe that's true. Okay, so keep that in mind, that we can change and adapt, be changeable and adaptable. Okay, and try looking at it as something positive, and then verbally say that something good's going to come out of this for me. I've faced some of the scariest things, and if I just kept with the intention that I was going to make something good out of it, and I was going to make lemonade out of that lemon, okay, that's the only thing that really saved me, really, and got me exactly where I am. Okay, I've been up against all kinds of things. So AI is another thing we're up against, and we're going to make lemonade out of it. Okay, let's do that, right? Let's think that way and intend that way together as a group. Okay, so here we've got the Queen of Discs here, more advice. So the Queen of Discs, also that change card being in the hidden influence, I should mention, could mean things will change, and it's not exactly how everybody's saying it is, and we don't know how it'll be. So keep a positive to grasp on that, right? Because the unknown is to your advantage, because you can help form it with your own intention and belief. Okay, so the Queen of Discs and the Worry card, yeah, letting go of. So stay grounded in what you know you have. Self-loving, she's very self-loving, and she knows what her worth is. Okay, and not undervalue your self or worth, even though AI is like all smart and going to be perfect and prettier. And these robots, they might create robots that look like perfect humans. Okay, but they're still not. Because if you actually had a whole evening with one of them, probably boring as heck, because they're like still an energy that doesn't have a spark. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? So that they're missing the soul part. Okay. And here we've got the eon here. So don't underestimate your humanity and how important it is. And we've got the eon here. So the next thing that happens, the eon, this is like the judgment card. This guy's like really, really aware. Okay. And all the parts of him and all his levels are really aware, and he can't sleep. Okay. This guy can't sleep. And the reason he can't sleep is because he knows that everything happening right now is of utmost importance. And it's really important to step carefully and really, with every intention going forward, know what your intention is for your future. Okay. So be mindful of how you're thinking. When the fears come up, get your mantras ready, and step carefully, and watch and keep an eye on things. So you don't be sleeping through this part. Okay, this isn't a part to just, oh yeah, trust the plan. No, we're going to be part of the plan. So we need to be awake and aware. Okay. So staying clear and awake and aware. And I'm glad this community is even talking about this right now.
Mhm.
Now we've got the Ace of Cups here. So this is us right now. Yeah, the biggest part to remember is our emotional body and our spiritual connectedness, okay, is really important. And a physical being with the soul in it is a different entity than, even if they make a bot human that's really perfect looking, like we've seen in movies, et cetera, it still doesn't have that spark. Okay, so pay attention to the gifts you bring and what you bring to the table, and don't undervalue yourself.
Great advice, Janine. I love it. Thank you so much, Janine, for that. It gives us a positive spin and something to hang on to. Our humanity is the key, I think, here, and that's what's missing in these AI. Wow, fabulous conversation. First of many, folks. Thank you for joining us on this one. A bit of a different tweak here on Beyond the News, but we have to do, as the cards just said again here, we can't put our foot off the gas pedal here. We have to be very, very awake and part of this conversation in a big way. So a big thank you to all of you joining us here tonight. Carla says, thank you, JC and Janine. You're always there to give us a boost of confidence and support. Well, thank you, Carla. Appreciate that. I do want to shout out also, somebody says in the live chat here, thank you first of all for the donation. Says, I'm watching with my mom now. Can you please give Sandy a prayer? Love you. Thank you. Well, yes, we're going to give Sandy a prayer. And please, everybody in the live chat, join us in giving Sandy a prayer. And if you have some prayers left and you want to send some more energy, please send some energy to my dad. He hasn't been feeling so well in the last couple of days. I had to bring him to the emergency room here in the last couple of days. So he's not feeling so well, and I'm hoping that he will recover shortly. The doctor said it's a virus that he's fighting, but it's deregulating everything else in his body at the same time. So he's having a tough time right now. So really appreciate you guys can send energy my dad's way as well. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here tonight. Please give us a like, share, and subscribe. And in the meantime, also, you can find the lovely Janine at tarotbyjanine.com. Love you guys. Have a great evening, and we'll see you soon. Au revoir.
Au revoir.